Galatians 5 verse 18. But if ye be led of the Spirit, ye are not under the law.
Question. Pastor Wind, long before the hydrogen peroxide incident, the Church of Zion has been under constant repression and attack, but the pastor still led the church with grace and continued to sow. Before the hydrogen peroxide event, the church has been touring Southeast Asia. Foreign pastors are also invited to come and share. Just as the brothers and sisters saw the church moving toward success, the sudden hydrogen peroxide event, they must readjust their motivation, mentality, character, and quality to attend church. Many nominal Christians were indeed leaving at the time. Even the gathering place. We must be relocated as well. However, around the pastor, there is always a group of people who are willing to work together, facing the challenges of that time together. After the Y2K food storage, you continue to lead different momentums, such as speaking gatherings, street sermons, etc. From the hydrogen peroxide incident in 1996 to the sharing of Zion message. That is, during these 13.13 years, the whole church, in its characterization and transformation. More complex and mature than ever before. Is that what you said? God often puts our church in a situation, by constantly hide and seek to find God. To complete the journey of faith, to get the unique character God gave Zion. May I ask if it can be interpreted in this way?
Yes. Looking back over the years, many times, God interrupted my intended path. For example, I once thought, if the establishment of a church in Hong Kong fails, I will return to Canada. I followed Pastor Chiu all my life and became his deputy. Because I never thought about competition, with the sole intention of contributing to the family of God. But I had no idea that establishing a church in Hong Kong would be so successful. Faced with numerous needs, Zion Church was established. In addition to that, God also interrupts many things, such as internal interruptions. I know the church has a regular workflow, but every time I tried to do the same, God also reminded me to study again, whether it is baptism, collecting offerings, preaching, leading hymns, etc., to be carried out according to the principles given by the Bible, not more, not less. So, for me, the influence of old traditions is interrupted by God, thus establishing the current unique system of Zion Church. Preaching is king. As for the external environment, a lot of the churches out there are putting pressure on me. Since I established the church, from dozens at first to thousands. They kept telling me, to reach out to the outside church, it's dangerous to shepherd a church alone, no one's covering up, blah, blah, blah. It's like those rich people, get together regularly, communicate with each other, they're a community of their own. I didn't understand why I should rely on these people at the time. Later, I learned, because our church is growing, naturally, it doesn't have to be any other way, but they grew to 20 or 30, it has become a pool of stagnant water. In order not to lose people, these churches can only survive, and God gave them no more growth. They had to do whatever they could to keep the congregation. But I never understood what they were saying, from a dozen people to dozens, and then there were hundreds or even thousands of people. No matter how many there are, they're still telling the same story. Why should I listen to them? There were originally 30 of them, more than 20 years later, there are still 30. That's not the only number of people in our Zell group, but for over 20 years, the number has remained at around 30. Each year also celebrates the establishment of this church. So they all do. A church of 100 people, in more than 20 years, there are still more than 100 people. Of course, it's been over 40 years now, but still. What's more, some churches have disappeared. So, their idea is always, you're good, I'm good. It's just a social thing. Because the church can't grow, all they could do was attract as many people as possible to avoid losing them, or hope that before the congregation dies, having more children will increase the number of people. I can't learn from these churches in this regard, because they are a pool of dead water. It does not suit our church, which has living water. They bailed out with a pool of dead water, but our church is growing. I'm also planning how to split more Zell groups. That's all they have in mind, so I can't adopt their traditional practices. For the old model, I have a set of ideas but cannot adopt them. As for new ideas, they are gradually eliminated. For example, at the time, I thought, we will always be good allies with the former Zion Mother Church in Canada. If they lack financial resources, we will try our best to provide financial support. Even subsidize them to hire full-time co-workers. However, in this year, when I brought this good news to Gideon Chiu, but Whistler happened, and we split, even in the same year, we decided to open the Zion Church in Canada. Galatians 5 verse 18. But if ye be led of the Spirit, ye are not under the law.
When I'm walking alone, so down in the dumps, struggling with emotion.
Your promises will keep me going, like kiss to warm the cold.
And when the turbulences of my decisions will not alleviate their hold.
Your gentle touch will smoothen the creases of my soul.
Be still, all is well.
It is you who ransomed me
From deep within iniquity.
I was gone, I was done, yet you gave me purpose.
And wash me whiter than the snow. The story of the maple leaf will guide me through and through.
Oh, in the day, you are with me every step of the way. I've seen and now dance in the rain.
I won't look back until I reach the summit, braving the blizzards and fighting the hail. Spirit, speak, I'll listen. Show me all I'm meant to do. The story of the maple leaf will guide me through and through.